And now the Hansons and Hiatus podcast with Nate and Alexis.
Happy Friday, fuckers. It is episode 76 of the Hansons on Hiatus podcast. I'm your host, Nate, and this is my wife, Alexis.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
And don't forget to support the podcast. buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on Hiatus, where you can buy us some virtual beers that we will happily drink. We drank a bunch of them in Iowa.
We did, and we will.
Yeah, and now we have a new way that you guys can be a supporter of Hansons on Hiatus. If you remember, we used to, with the other podcast, we used to do like the subscription only kind of thing. So the buymeacoffee.com is great if you just want to, throw a couple beers to us here and there. But if you don't want to worry about it and you still want to continuously support the podcast, now on Spotify, you can donate 99 cents monthly, $4.99 monthly, or $9.99 monthly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the subscription, but you can start and stop it whenever you want. I believe you can change it from the different increments. So if you're loving the stories and what we do, and us, you can go to hansonsonhiatus.com, and there's a link there above the Buy Me a Coffee, and it just says be a monthly supporter, and you can go do that. So if you guys are enjoying it, we really appreciate it. Any help you can be, keep this thing going.
Yes, thank you so much. So it would be great.
And also on hansonsonhiatus.com, there is the merch store where we got some Hansons on Hiatus stuff. We got some State Fair stuff.
Beer stuff.
We got Poog.
Poog stuff.
Yeah, we got
Puggy stuff.
Puggy stuff. Yeah.
You can be a Hanson fucky all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, become a fucky. Yeah. But that is all on hansonsonhiatus.com.
Yep.
And also, we wanted to thank our buddy Jose, who owns E-Pon in Stockbridge, and he got us a new camera because I had actually he got me this other camera that I've been using. I can't remember what it was for, maybe Christmas or something. He brought it down when he came down to visit us here in Mexico, and for my birthday. And he's like, "What do you want for your birthday?" And I was like, I would love another camera to make Alexis look good.
Oh, even better.
On video. Yo always look good.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah, but that's Jose at E-Pon Superstore, North Henry Boulevard in Stockbridge, Georgia. And you can find them on eponatl.com.
Perfect.
Yeah, and they have a ton of awesome stuff there.
They really do.
It's not just, like what you kind of think of at a pawn shop. They have cool stuff. Like he was showing me those Facebook glasses.
Oh yeah.
The Ray-Bans. They got things like that. Obviously they got guns, they got computers, webcams, anything. So
electronics, all sorts of things.
Yeah, so if you're in Georgia, check them out. Very cool. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Jose. We appreciate it.
All right. So we have been, we've had an episode every week, but it's been a while since we did, we usually do it week to week and saying hey, this is what we did last week and this is what we're doing next week.
Yep.
So we pre-recorded the other two talking about what we were doing in Iowa, our trip that we always go on in the summer.
Every year, every August.
So we're going to get into a little bit about our trip there and the Iowa State Fair and all the good foods and everything. But we have so many stories. So this will probably be a couple episodes.
Yes. It's been like 2 weeks. So
yeah, definitely.
We got a lot of stories.
And, if you're unfamiliar with us, we live in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, which is basically kind of halfway in between Tulum and Cancun.
Yep.
We're south of Cancun, and we normally fly out of Cancun, and it's about an hour bus trip, typically, maybe 50 minutes.
Yep.
But there's this new airport in Tulum that we have not flown out of before.
Right, brand new.
Yeah, so we decided to take a trip out of the Tulum airport this time to Iowa, mainly because it was a couple $100 cheaper.
It was much more affordable.
Yeah, so, and I can't say that it's for every flight, but at least for ours, that was the deal. So we're like, hey, well, then might as well check it out.
Oh, yeah, and flights to Des Moines are not cheap for some reason.
Yeah, well, who's going fucking Des Moines in July?
We are.
Yeah, true. Besides us. But so if you're curious, the trip from Playa del Carmen to Tulum or vice versa is about 2 hours on the bus, which it's some time. But to go to any airport where we live is at least an hour. So, it's not a big deal. You're just sitting there, we're not driving or anything like that. So it was about 2 hours from Playa del Carmen. And then we had a stopover in Tulum city center. and we didn't switch buses, but we had to take a little break there so other people get on in Tulum.
Nice.
Yeah, and from there it's about 40 minutes. So if you are going to Tulum from the Tulum airport, it's about a 40-minute ride.
Right.
Yeah, and the bus, God, what was it? It was like 200 some pesos, I think.
Yeah, pretty cheap.
Yeah,
pretty
I think it was like
affordable.
10 to $15. I can't remember exactly.
So from Playa to the city of Tulum was about 45 minutes to an hour. And then from the city of Tulum to the airport was about another 45 minutes.
Well, that's what I was saying. It's 40 minutes to Tulum from Tulum.
Right.
I mean, to the Tulum airport from Tulum.
Right. Tulum.
But the whole thing was 2 hours for us.
Correct.
But it was really cool. It's brand new. It's like in the middle of the fucking jungle. So it's not actually in Tulum. It's like outside of it, kind of like Denver. It's like the Denver airport, but it's kind of a hike. It's on the outskirts of the city.
Oh yeah, really. I like where they put it. It's not affecting the city too much, or anybody that's coming for vacation. It's a nice little remote area, brand new roads, brand new everything. It was great.
And it was cool. Like once we turned off the highway to go through the jungle, the roads had all these signs because, I mean, it is in the jungle. And there was, like normally like we see deer crossing signs in the U.S. There was monkey crossing, puma crossing, jaguar crossing. Was there something else?
No. I really liked how they had the ropes across the highway for the monkeys.
Yeah.
There was monkey crossing, but they had those little kind of bridges for them.
Yeah, and they do that on some of the highways here. They have monkey crossings, and they have like ropes going across the highway because at least monkeys are smart enough to know, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't walk across the fucking street.
Apparently they are. I appreciate that they do that.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Then we got into the airport, and it's not a big airport. It's not planned to be like a Cancun, or maybe in the future or something, but it's made to be like a smaller airport, kind of like, out of Orlando, Sanford, or, something like that. It's just kind of like another option for people that are further south of Cancun, because they got like a 3-hour trek from Cancun if they're going to Tulum, I think.
Right.
Or to the city. But
yeah.
But it was cool. So we get in there, everything's brand new, and they've made it all very jungly theme. It's like a lot of wood and vines and stuff. And
bamboo.
And we hear the overhead speaker guy, and speaking in Spanish, and then the English version. You were like, "That sounds really familiar." And do you remember what the voice was?
I was like, "Oh my god, it's the TikTok guy, or the voice from the reels that you hear all the time." It's kind of that. It's almost robotic voice, but it's a guy's voice. I don't know. But
well, like the girl was a radio personality,
right?
But I believe they did a male one as well, and so it's using like the algorithm or whatever. So you type it in, and then it says what they want to say. So I think that's what they did to save money. They just typed in what they wanted it to say, and then they had the TikTok voice do it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's professional, it's precise. I liked it, but I recognized it right away. I'm like, we know this guy.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, we are residents of Mexico. We're temporary residents for 4 years, and then we apply for our permanent.
Yep. We're almost there.
Yep, we are. We're getting there. But one of the things that we have to do is every time we leave the country, we have to basically like check out.
Yeah.
So before you go through security, or sometimes after, depending on which airport, there is an immigration office. And so we go to the INE office to get our passport stamp. So you have to tell them, like, hey, I'm leaving the country. They usually ask you like what airline or where you're going or whatever.
Yeah. Basic questions.
Yeah. And then they stamp your passport. Typically takes like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Usually they look annoyed at the Cancun airport. They're like, really? Stamp, bye.
Yeah. And when we got into the line, I mean, there's almost nobody there because it was an early flight.
No one.
We get into the immigration line, and the guy goes, there was a couple in front of us with 2 kids.
Yep.
And we're like, oh, this will be a fucking breeze. There's only one couple in front of us.
Yeah.
We stood there for like 30 minutes.
We really did.
And I'm like, oh my God, we're going to miss our fucking flight. And
the couple with the 2 kids had even more kids. They start coming and going and running around and checking in with their parents. I'm like, how many kids do you have?
Oh my God. Well, I could see their passports, and they were from Argentina.
Yes.
So I don't know if there was something about them leaving with their kids or something. They're probably just making sure they're not like stealing fucking Mexican kids and taking them to South America.
The kids were the red flag. They're like, wait a minute, we got to double check all these again.
So he's looking. This guy is just like, I don't know. He's just super slow, and we're getting like kind of in a huff. And I don't know if the lady heard us or if she just realized that they were taking a long time.
She probably heard me.
She was super nice, and she asked if he could take us first because they were taking so long. And because she was like, how long or when's your flight? And we're like, it's in like an hour. And luckily there was no line at security.
Yeah.
So we're
Security
like, that
was a
wasn't
breeze.
the worry. It was this for some reason. So we're like, what the fuck? So we get up there and we think this is going to fucking take 2 minutes.
Easy.
Stamp, nothing else to do, whatever. This guy looks at every fucking page of my passport.
Just your passport.
Just my passport. and I don't have anything back. I mean, I got like Egypt and Italy and France and some other ones in there. It's not like I have like I don't have like Iraq on there or anything like that.
I mean,
So
you just normal.
but he looks at every page, goes back and looks again, and then he's looking shit up on the computer, and then finally this other guy comes in, and what did he say something to him?
He asked him a question, like barely spoke, just looked at him, asked him something, and then the guy was like looked like, yeah, like what are you waiting for? Like, yes, like this and that. Like you could just tell from the way he was moving, like, hurry up, stamp him and get him out of here.
Yeah, like what are you doing? So
Oh my
maybe he
God.
was just new or something, but I was really worried that he fucked it up because if we leave the country without doing this and come back in, like we can. I think we can get it like lose our residency,
Yeah,
right?
I
Or
think
if we
we
go
get
through the
trouble.
tourist line coming back in, we can lose our residency too.
Yeah. So many little rules.
Yeah, which makes zero sense. Like, it
Finally
just not-
stamped yours. He took 2 seconds with mine. He was like,
Yeah,
okay.
he still kind of looked through your pages a little bit, but it's whatever. Yeah, so we get through security finally, and the airport's awesome. Like we sat at a bar. I got a beer. It was like $5, which I think is pretty good for an airport beer.
Really? Yeah.
And then they had these like lounge recliners.
Yeah. Those
that,
are really
that
nice.
you were sitting in because a lot of airports make it like impossible to sleep. You know, the armrests don't lift up, the chairs are uncomfortable, but they like made it so you could sleep.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
They had really nice areas. They were kind of like pods of chairs instead of just rows and rows like our airports. They were nice little areas that you could take your whole family and sit or lounge or just wait. It was very peaceful there.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It was. So we get on the plane finally, and this trip we had booked them separately because I used credit card points for one and airline points for the other.
Yeah.
So we had 2 separate itineraries.
Which I
So
don't like.
normally, because if we're on the same one and we don't pick our seats, they'll just put us together. Typically, it might be a middle seat and a side seat or an aisle or a window.
Yeah.
But they'll usually put us together. So this one, we got to pick our own seats for free, luckily, because American Airlines.
American was great.
But no, actually, I don't think we could. No. We could pick our own seats, but it was only middle seats available.
Oh,
Right?
gotcha.
Did you have a middle seat on the way there?
No.
Oh fuck! Well, it's just me. Jesus.
Did you?
You son of a
man.
bitch.
I did not. I think I had an aisle seat.
Yeah, you did have an
Yeah.
aisle seat, and we couldn't switch or anything because it was like we weren't in the same row or whatever. So,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to do that to you.
Some people love aisle seats. I don't like it. I get the idea you can pop up and whenever you want, but I usually don't get up during a flight. Like,
Yeah,
why
I don't
are
really
people
use
always
it
walking
either.
around? Sit down.
But if you do have to go to the bathroom, it sucks to be on the window and you got to get 2 people to get up.
Especially if they're sleeping, you're like, hey,
Yeah.
by the way.
So I'm in the middle seat, and I'm not the thinnest guy. I'm pretty stocky. So even just putting my arms down next to each other, I'm like barely like, I'm in the seat. I'm fine in the seat. But the first guy comes up that's sitting in the aisle, and it's this huge fat guy. I mean, like cliche
Really big.
situation, like big guy, and not. I mean, I would say no fault to his own, but probably some of his fault.
He
But.
was just a big dude,
Yeah.
too. Big.
And then the other guy, black dude, comes and sits next to me, and he's in the window seat.
Mm.
So on the right side of me, I have this huge guy that's like his body is touching my body just because his body is so big. And I understand it. Like there's not a lot you can do at that point, other than buy 2 seats, I guess, but whatever. He wasn't being malicious about it. This other fucker was leaning, like he had his elbow on the armrest and on my left armrest, and like his elbow was like over the armrest in my seat.
You're like, excuse me.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, maybe he's just getting situated or whatever. He was doing he was doing it the whole time. I'm playing like fucking elbow wars with this guy.
Oh my God.
And I wanted to just, I don't want to make it uncomfortable because we're on this flight for like 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then you have to sit next to these people. But isn't it like an unwritten rule that if you're in the middle, you get both armrests? Because the guy
Yeah.
on the window, like if I'm on the window, I'm leaning against the wall,
Right,
putting my
same.
head against it.
Same.
You know, because I know, especially if it's like somebody smaller, okay, whatever, that's debatable. But obviously, I'm kind of a bigger dude, and I can't get any smaller.
Yeah.
So give me the fucking armrest, bro. You got a window, you got a whole area you can lean on. I can't go anywhere, and I got, Chubbo on the other side.
You should have looked at the guy and been like, help me out, bro. Like, I got no room over here. Can I snuggle up with you? And maybe he would have been like, oh, and just moved over.
Yeah, but I try to take a video of the situation, so I hit my camera on because I can't record it because they're both sitting next to me. They can
Yeah.
see my phone, so I hit record and I turn it around and I put it in the seat in front of me, and so I'm like, I wonder what this video is gonna look like when I get off, and I look at it and it's just my crotch, like it wasn't like I didn't put it on wide angle enough, so all you see is like my dick.
Send that video to me.
Hey baby, you want to see some moose knuckle?
I will say, I don't know if it's a rule that you get both armrests because as a small person, I'm always put in the middle row for some reason or the middle seat, and I get no armrest. It's like because I'm not a big person, I have to sit in between of the two armrests with my arms down the whole time, which is usually fine and not too uncomfortable for me. But after a while, you're just like, oh, can I stretch out a little bit? But no one ever gives me the armrest.
I do when I'm sitting
Well,
next to you.
you do. We share.
Yeah.
But if I'm not by you and I'm by somebody
Right.
else, then
Or at least do, if you're going to share it, like have, your elbow on the back of the armrest and the other person has it like in the front. So you're like sharing it or something.
yeah.
But I'm sorry, at no point should, if there was an invisible wall that goes up from the armrest,
Right.
your arm should not be crossing that fucking plane.
No.
That's my space. I paid for this seat. You didn't pay for part of my seat.
Oh, yeah.
And you have plenty of room to lean over. So get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. Get out. I always have people moving their feet over to my side.
Right?
There's a little line there.
Yeah.
Stay on your side. What? I don't know you. We're not playing footsies.
I don't get why dudes act like they have these giant balls or something.
Oh,
like
God.
on the bus, on planes, on trains, whatever. Everybody, all these guys sit with their legs like spread like eagle for some reason.
Yeah,
Like,
like
bro,
you got a
come
huge
on.
Johnson or you're hot or something. Guess what? My undercarriage is hot too. Move over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm
So,
not sitting like that.
so that was an uncomfortable situation.
I had two lovely ladies with me, and we were all the same size, so
Son
it
of a
was great.
bitch. But so then we have a layover in Dallas, and we land there, and we grab something to eat, and we're getting ready to get on the next plane where they're starting to call the groups, which
Yeah.
I don't know how the fucking groups work. I've never been in like anything higher than 4. Even if I'm in like row 11 or something, I'm
Right.
still like the fourth group.
This whole time
We're the
we were
6.
in like boarding group 6 or 7, and it seemed like the majority of people were in 6 or 7. They would call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're watching. There's barely anybody, so we're getting excited, like, yay, nobody's on this flight, but there's a whole bunch of other people waiting by us.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they call 6, row 7, everyone comes up, and it's chaos.
Yeah. Do you what was the flight that we were on where we were in the same row, but we were in different boarding groups? Was that this trip?
Yeah, both times this trip, 6 and 7 and 7 and 6 or something like
Yeah,
that.
maybe it was on the way back or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, we were in the same row, but in different boarding groups. I'm like, how the fuck did that
It
work?
was like we just got the cutoff. It was
Yeah.
you, then me, then me, then
Oh
you.
no, that was when we went to Guadalajara.
That's right.
But still, fucking weird.
Weird, very
Yeah,
weird.
super weird. But so we're getting ready to board, and we're in line like with everybody else, and I hear this voice go, "Hey Hansons, what are you doing here?" And I turn around, and it's our friend Emmy from I went to high school with her in Ankeny.
Yes.
And they were coming back from like Scotland or something.
Yeah.
Like their kids are in a soccer tournament, and they had they were like, "We've been traveling for 24 hours. I'm going crazy. I need to shower."
They looked tired.
Yeah.
They were like, please.
Yeah. So I was like, "Oh my God." And it's my mom's friend's daughter. So I was like, "Oh, we got to get a picture and send it to my mom." And she's like, "Please do not post this on social media."
Please
I'm
do
like
not.
in my airport attire.
Yes.
But
Don't
I thought-
worry, we won't.
I thought that was pretty funny that we just ran into somebody that we knew in Dallas going to the same place on our same flight.
Oh, yeah. That happens to us not often, but more often than not. And I feel like we both look at each other. We either get a happy Friday, fuckers, or like a hey, Hansons. And both of us look at each other and I don't know why
Yeah.
we're like terrified. We just turn around like, who knows us
Well,
here?
that's the thing is, and then this happened to me everywhere when I go home to Iowa. Is,
Oh, yeah.
like I grew up there, so I know a lot of people that I went to school with and worked
Everyone.
with and stuff. But you never know who you're going to see. So when somebody says something to you, and especially if it's somebody from high school, like at the fair that you haven't seen in 20 years,
Yeah.
you're running through the thousands of people in your head who it could possibly be. Because
Yeah.
it doesn't even mean they're from Iowa. They could have been from Georgia or Florida or whatever. And I'm like, okay, who is this person? Okay, they kind of look, okay, it's like in your brain, you have to process all that shit like real fast.
Oh, yeah. And I don't remember how I meet so many people through you and your family that you guys know or have grown up with. I'm just like, do I know this person? Have I met them? So I'm just like, hey, great to see ya.
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew Emmy, but
Yeah, exactly. So what else did we do? Oh, when we got there, I think one of the first days, I messaged my buddy from high school. We usually go play darts when I come back. My buddy Zach, and he was like, hey, our friend Gavin is actually moving back to Hong Kong with his family. You want to go to this going away party? And I was like, oh, that'd be great. So we could see some, friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess they used to live in Hong Kong for his job, like, stationed him there, transferred him there or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And then they moved back in 2021. And then now his job's telling him he has to go back again. So,
Yep.
which would be a crazy life for the kids.
Crazy, and they have young kids. They're not like teenagers yet.
Yeah.
And
not bad crazy. I just mean like I can't imagine.
oh yeah.
You had a hard time moving from Pittsburgh to Columbus.
Yeah.
Can you imagine moving to fucking Hong Kong?
No, I can't. I mean, it would be amazing to have that option to give to your family and your kids. Like, this is going to be such a good learning experience, and we're going to see so many things that we wouldn't have staying in Iowa. But I think they were saying that the kids really liked being back in Iowa. And
Well, they got
Hong
their
Kong-
friends when they were younger, but they probably have friends back in Hong Kong too.
Oh,
So.
I'm sure. And this trip's only like a year or two that they're planning on being there.
Oh no, there's no end date.
Oh, I thought he was saying it's only gonna be a couple years this time. So
Not that I heard. He was saying the first time they went, he had a contract, but now he doesn't. So
oh shoot. Well,
yeah, I don't know. But I mean, who knows?
good luck, and maybe we'll come visit.
Yeah, or they can come visit us.
Never been.
And then what else did we do? Okay, the Iowa State Fair. We've talked a lot about this.
Yes.
There's one thing that we've never done, and they have an Iowa State Fair parade, and we've only seen it on like PBS or whatever. And it's the day before the fair starts, and they go down the street, like downtown Des Moines.
Mm-hmm.
And we've never done this, so we're like, all right, we're doing it. So
we're like, let's go check it out.
yeah,
Why not?
Yeah, so you get some drinks and snacks and lawn chairs, and we go out there, and it was okay.
I was waiting to see what you would say.
Yeah,
It was a fair parade,
Right.
I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting anything crazy. I was expecting more cute and like a lot of people.
Yeah.
The volume.
And it was interesting because it goes down this like main highway downtown, main road downtown Des Moines, and they normally don't stop parades as they're going.
I
But
guess.
this parade, when the light changed, the cops would stop the parade and let the traffic go through. And I was
Yeah.
like, in my experience, they block off. They're like, sorry, buddy, find a different way home from work.
They're like, this is prime time. We gotta let the people through.
Yeah, but it was okay. There was like, and my mom pointed out, it was a lot of advertisements. It was a lot of roofing companies and a truck with some kids in the back, and there was a Papa John's semi truck in it for some reason. They're just going straight through.
I was excited because I thought they were gonna. Couple guys would pop out of the truck and hand out slices of pizza or a free pizza or coupons for pizza. I'm like, yes, we're getting Papa John's.
And that was probably well. And then that's also what I said was like, that's what parades usually are, though.
Right.
Like any parade you've ever been to, it's like blah 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 car dealership, and there's a bunch of 16-year-old like prom queens in the back,
Exactly.
or there's whatever throwing out like informational advertisement type of stuff, or whatever. But they didn't have any candy. I thought they should have had some candy for the kids.
They didn't throw anything. Maybe past years they were like, nobody's cleaning this up if you don't catch it. So, but they had like the groups of the local dance schools and programs, and they had all that going on, which was awesome. And then a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. But the best part was the Mexican segment of the fair parade.
We were not expecting that.
No, not at all. All of us. I mean, it's really cool. Like where downtown Des Moines is like a really cool city now. They got the river down there, the Capitol, and it has like 24 karat leaf gold around the domes.
Very shiny.
So it's a really pretty building. And so in the background, you see that. And then coming down the street are 3 guys on horses, and one was holding the U.S. flag, one was holding the Mexican flag, and one was holding the state of Iowa flag. Yep. So it was just like a really cool picture. We're like, what the fuck's going on here? Yeah. And there's they have some floats for like Dia de Muertos. They have got little kids that are like cowboy lasso guys.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of different Mexican culture type floats in the parade.
Oh yeah, I love the women on the horses. They had the cowboys, they had cowgirls. They were on there with their dresses. Some were side saddles. Some had the different. They were doing the calls, the gritos, and we loved the lasso, like the little cowboy boys.
But that was surprising. But it was pretty cool. And then the one came by and they had different groups or said what the groups were, and one of them was like, the Mexican Rodeo Association or whatever. So it was cool to see that represented. But I think we kind of surprised some people that were down there watching the parade as well, because as soon as the Mexican float started coming by, we're like, "Viva Mexico!"
We had a group of white people go, "Viva, viva, viva Mexico!"
And there was a Mexican family next to us,
a couple of them,
and the wife was pregnant, and I don't know what the situation was, but my mom gave her chair to sit on because she was pregnant.
We noticed her. There's a bunch of cute little kids running around and all this stuff, and then we saw this family kind of standing close to us, and me and your mom were like, "Oh, she's really pregnant." She was like, looks like she was about to pop, and none of us were really sitting in our chairs. So your mom's like, "You think I should go offer it to her?" We're like, "Yeah, go ahead." She was so happy to sit down. So your mom walked it over there and was like, "Take your time. We don't need it." She was so appreciative.
Yeah, it was a good time, but it was worth it, I guess. I don't know if I'll make an effort to go every year or anything, but it was okay.
I mean, the Mexican culture part was probably our favorite.
Yeah,
I
that's
really
probably
liked the
worth it.
dancers, and then at one point there was like a DJ on something agriculture truck. They had a DJ in the back, like pumping up the everybody around, and that one was really funny.
But the things I don't like about the parade were the political and like issue type floats. There was
Gotta have this.
there was like a pro-life, anti-abortion float, and they put a bunch of little kids in there that probably don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
And there was political floats on each side, which
both sides.
If it's for like a person to vote for, I get it, but I don't know what are the parties in there for? Are you going to see like a Democratic float and be like, "Oh, maybe I should join that party"?
Yeah.
Looks like they're having fun on this float.
Oh,
Like what's the point of that?
I will say I appreciated that it wasn't so much. It wasn't like the presidential candidates.
True.
It was the local candidates.
Yeah.
They did have signs for the presidential candidates, but just a couple. There was like one on one side and one on the other, but it was mainly your local candidates who you're voting for in the city of Des Moines, and the surrounding cities.
Yeah.
So I thought that was nice.
Yeah, very cool.
But yeah, we probably will go again. If we had little kids, a bunch of little kids, that would be fun to take them to.
I'd be like, "Where's the candy?"
Yeah, we'll bring our own. And we did bring our own snacks and beers, so we made the best of it.
But you, me, my brother, and our friend Adam went to an Iowa Cubs game.
Yes.
And we pre-gamed at Single Speed Brewing, which is right across the river.
Love that brewery.
Yeah, it was very, very nice. And so we had a couple beers, walk across the bridge to the stadium. And the Iowa Cubs, if you don't know, are obviously the Chicago Cubs. They are their farm team, so people get pulled up into the majors from there.
Yeah.
So the games are fun to go to, and we hadn't been to one, I don't think, since you started coming to the fair.
I've never been to one, no.
Yeah, and so they were playing the Columbus team, and you went to high school in around Columbus, Ohio.
Yes, I did.
And
That's perfect.
Yeah, so we go to the game, and we had a friend that worked in concessions, and she got us free tickets, so she got us in, and we get into the game, and we go to the beer cooler, and so we're going to this huge beer cooler, and we get to pick out our own beers.
Really cool.
And then we go to the register, and we buy our $14 beers.
Ugh.
And then our friend comes and says, "Oh, the game's canceled." We're like, "Great."
They just canceled it.
Yes. So
Womp womp.
yeah. So after she tells us that the game is canceled, that we see they start covering the field.
Yeah.
And after they cover the field, we're kind of just down in behind the dugout, and we're just taking pictures and hanging out, drinking our $14 beers.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, do you guys want to go up to one of the skyboxes?" And we're like, "All right.
Yeah.
Why not?"
I thought they were going to make us leave as soon as the game was like officially canceled, even though we just got beers. I thought they were going to kick us out like, bye-bye. Like, wait a minute.
So we go up to the skyboxes, and cool, on the way in the hallway, there's a picture of Caitlin Clark throwing out one of the first pitches.
Yes. It was an old picture, right? Not
Yeah, well, I
recent.
mean, when she went to the University of Iowa,
Yes.
so yeah, probably a couple of years ago.
Very cool.
But we get up in the skybox, we're hanging out, it's really nice. And our friend that works in concessions, she comes in and she has chicken fingers and beer and hot dogs. And soon as I'm biting into one of the hot dogs, she goes, "Oh yeah, we call these ones dumpster dogs."
Like, what?
And so I'm like, okay, where did they get these dogs from?
Oh my God.
Yeah. But they weren't actually from the dumpster. They just call them that because they have to throw them away if, they don't go through them. And they usually just give them out to the staff and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they were okay. But
So funny.
I was like, what the
love
fuck are
that.
dumpster dogs?
Yeah. As soon as you were taking a bite, she's like, maybe I should have said that before.
Yeah. So we got to eat and drink for free and sit at the baseball game. I mean, there wasn't any baseball going on, but it was okay.
It was a beautiful stadium. Would we have rather seen a game? Yes, but she made it so much fun, and with your brother and our friend Adam, it was a fun time. It was a great stadium. Got to see kind of behind the scenes of everything, how they shut everything down. So that was cool.
Yeah. So thank you to our friend Melissa.
Yes,
Melissa.
Thank you, Melissa. We had such a good time.
Yes, it was great. So that was our experience with the baseball game we didn't get to go to.
Yeah. Maybe next time.
And before we get out of here, I know some people have been asking about the fair foods that we were
Yes.
talking about and which ones we tried and how were they and everything like that. So so let's go through some of the foods and the ones we tried. And I took some pictures of them, so it'll help me remember what we got.
Yes.
Okay, so bacon cheeseburger egg roll.
Oh yeah.
That was actually the winner of the best new fair food.
It was. Didn't they sell like $2 million worth or something like
Oh,
that?
yeah, it was. I can't remember the money, but they sold 28,000 egg rolls.
Oh my God.
Yeah, unreal. But what did you think of it?
I thought they were delicious. It was.
It's literally an egg roll with
Yeah.
like ground beef and cheese and stuff inside of it.
I thought it was really good. I would have eaten it again. Maybe a little more pickles or relish on top. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm a pickle person.
Yeah, they needed more cheeseburger to the cheeseburger. I mean, it had ground beef in it, but
Yeah.
they needed like some of the ingredients in it.
Yeah, it was a little more heavy on the meat side
Yeah.
than the ingredients.
We didn't get the beer belly fries. Burnt brisket or brisket burnt ends link.
That was good.
Yeah, so that was basically the brisket burnt ends that you normally get at a barbecue place, and they put it inside of a sausage link,
Yeah.
and then served it in a bun with like some, what was it, like not coleslaw,
Yeah.
like cabbage and pickles or peppers and stuff like that.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
a good little pickle medley or something.
Yeah.
Pepper medley.
Yeah, so that was really good. I would recommend that again. Let's see, cheeseburger corn dog. I did get this one, and that was basically kind of the same thing. It was ground beef, but with like the corn dog. What is it?
Shell coating.
Yeah, but what is the batter? It's kind of like, it's almost like cornbread,
Yeah.
or
It's
maybe it is
sweet
cornbread.
there.
Yeah, it's a little sweet, but that was good. And that's from the stand where I got the rattlesnake corn dog last year.
Ugh.
It's a rattlesnake meat. And fun fact, rattlesnake and alligator meat are the only like exotic animal meats that the USDA or whatever allows them to sell.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I asked because we were asking about like how many rattlesnakes you go through, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know, but these are the only two." He's like, "You're never gonna like need this information ever," and I was like, "I will tell somebody,"
Tell
so
me.
I'm telling all you.
Give it to us.
Yeah. We did not try the brunchy burger. What did we get? Lobster corn dog. I got that because you're allergic to lobster.
Right. It looked really good. The presentation was lovely.
Yeah, it wasn't super big, but it was really tasty. I wasn't gonna get it. It was $20.
$20.
Yeah, but it's lobster, and I was like, "What kind of fucking lobster are they getting in Iowa?"
Yeah.
But they said that they do fly it in fresh, like every day to the fair, like all the lobster stands and stuff.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
There
so-
was a lot of lobster options this year. It
Yeah.
was like pickles and lobster.
They
was
had
the thing.
the lobster roll that was like the 2-foot long lobster roll for
Yeah.
$100. But I mean, it was a lot of lobster meat for
lot.
$100. Like a regular lobster roll in Boston is like $30, $40. Boston.
Yeah. Boston.
From Boston. We got the chicken mac attack bowl.
That was delicious.
It was mac and cheese and like chicken, but like with buffalo, like red
Yeah.
buffalo sauce or whatever. Yeah, that was good. The chicken wasn't not bad quality. It just seemed like one of the like a frozen one you'd buy. It didn't taste
like
frozen, but it was like a breaded patty kind of thing. Yes,
it was good. It saved our life after being at the beer tent all day.
The cinnamon crunch apple taco we did not get to try,
Right.
but we did have the Iowa smoked roll, smoked roll, and that was like like a pork tenderloin. It looked like like a sushi roll.
Yeah.
But it was like pork tenderloin, and what did it have in it? It was like I think cream corn and so like some kind of ranch and barbecue sauce and some other things in it. That was good. The presentation wasn't very good. I think they were just slamming so many out that it was just kind of messy looking. It didn't look as good as the picture.
I actually liked it. Wasn't really something that I thought I would enjoy, but it was delicious. And they had a bunch of different barbecue sauces you could put on top. Really good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Let's see, what else did we get?
Thumbs up for me.
The deep fried bubble gum. That was good.
That was weird.
But it was not bubble gum.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate the name because everything here is, I mean, you would think, oh, how the fucking deep fried bubble gum? We have deep fried butter, like what the fuck? It had like some kind of marshmallow fluff on the inside, and it did have like a bubble gum flavor. It was like this like deep fried ball.
Yeah.
With like this marshmallow fluff on the inside.
Yeah, and it was like a pink drizzle, so maybe that was like a barbecue bubblegum syrup or something.
Yeah, that's probably it.
It was good.
Yeah,
I wouldn't get another one. But
it was good, but yeah, it wasn't what I thought it would be.
Right.
We did my dad got the deep fried peanut butter and jelly.
That was really good.
That was good. It was basically what are those things called?
Uncrustable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they deep fried it and put it on a stick.
Yep.
Very tasty, but not easy to eat.
Yeah, very messy.
Yeah, because the peanut, you know how peanut butter gets when it's hot, it gets kind of runny, and so as soon as you bit into it and it opened up, then it just starts dripping out, and I was like, ugh.
We should have waited for it to cool off a little bit, but we were all starving. It was in the morning, so we're like, just eat it.
Yes. Oh, and by the way, for all these things, I made my own list. Like I made a map of where they were. How much each thing was, because the app is good, but it wasn't what I wanted for this. So I made like a spreadsheet, and it had all the things that we wanted, how much it was, where it was, and then I had a map with corresponding areas and dots.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
This is 40.
Hey, I've always done this.
You have.
So one of the things we had on there that I wanted to try was the deep fried pepperoni chips.
Yeah, we didn't get them.
And I'm glad we didn't,
Yeah.
because I'm thinking it's like chunks of pepperoni.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Oh.
It was, I mean, I guess it's called chips. I should have saw that,
I'm
but
thinking
it
slices.
was literally just like regular, like pepperoni that you'd buy at the grocery store, and then they deep fried them. So they're crunchy. So they're like hard, crunchy. So they're literally chips. It's not like, deep fried chunks of pepperoni meat or whatever.
So kind of like a deep fried pickle that you would, not the whole pickle, but like the slices.
Yeah,
like
but
pepperoni
not,
slice, but deep fried.
but not good.
Okay,
Like
but not good.
it'd be like if when you cook a pepperoni pizza and the pepperoni gets burnt.
Yeah.
And it breaks off.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was just a
Okay.
bag of those. So I'm like,
Good idea. Maybe poor execution.
Yeah, I would want chunks of pepperoni.
Yeah.
The funnel cake burger, we did not, even though it looked kind of good, but we didn't get it because people were kind of talking shit about it, saying that the burger wasn't very good.
Yeah, that was some feedback we heard like right away. Like, don't.
But
waste
it was
your
like the Bubba burger. Like that's everybody's problem. It's like, oh, like the burger doesn't look very. It just looks like one of those ones you buy in a box for like a big group of people at a fucking tailgate or something.
Yeah, if you buy a burger at the concession next door, that's the same burger you're getting. They're just putting a funnel cake on top of it.
Exactly. So, so yeah, we didn't get that, but I would try it.
Yeah.
I wish somebody else was with me that would want to try it. But,
Yeah, sorry.
I know, no worries. But it has funnel cakes for the buns. That was the whole thing.
Yeah. That was cute.
What else? The garlic ranch pickle pizza. That was good.
Why did we not get another piece of that?
It was like garlic ranch was the sauce instead of tomato sauce or pizza sauce.
So it was like a white pizza.
Yeah, and then it had pieces of pickle on it, and then a ranch drizzle, and so that was pretty fun.
That was a family favorite. We all took a bite and we're like, "Give me more."
I do wish the pickles were more pickly. Like they just kind of like thick slices of pickle. They were just kind of that like what you get in a jar for hamburgers or whatever. But it was still good. It tasted good.
Really good.
AE party balls.
Oh yeah.
So they have this AE dip in Iowa. It's Anderson Erickson Farms,
So good.
and they make this kind of They call it party dip. They also have sour cream and chives.
It's chip dip.
Chip dip, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like ranch chip dip kind of.
Yeah.
But they deep fried it into these balls, and that was good.
So good.
That was some good shit.
I love that dip. Any way you serve it to me, I love it. All the different flavors.
We did not get the maple bacon bliss sundae. I wish we got that.
It's a
Piggy
mouthful.
in a donut.
Oh.
That was a breakfast sausage with cheese inside of it on a stick, and then the batter around, it was like a corn dog. The batter around the outside was mini donut batter.
Yeah.
And it was good. And then it was like
so
rolled in
good.
sugar and stuff. Oh man, that was so good.
I'm not a big sausage fan or certain things like that. That was really good. You made me take a couple bites. It was delicious. And they gave like syrup with it to
To dip in it. Oh,
so good.
that was a good, because sometimes we get there early and it's
Yeah.
like you don't want a fucking euro for breakfast at 9 a.m.
No. Well, maybe.
Maybe. Let's see, pork belly corn dog bites. I like those. I don't think my mom liked them very much.
I thought she was going to be a big fan of them. They were okay, but that's not my really cup of tea.
Yeah, so they were pork belly chunks and then put in the corn dog batter,
Yeah.
and then they gave like, I think, was it a syrupy sauce, kind of like a chipotle syrupy barbecue kind of sauce with it.
Like a sweet sour or something.
Yeah, I enjoyed that, but I think they were maybe a little overdone, and maybe that's why my mom wasn't a fan.
I will say a couple times that we got food in the morning, it was like severely overcooked. Some of
In
the
the
things,
morning?
yeah, some of the things were like a little crispy, and then when we would go try them later the next day, they were cooked a little better. We've got a
Interesting.
couple things that were maybe a little burnt.
See, I would have thought it would be the other way around, because
Yeah.
like a lot of times you go to a barbecue place, and if you get stuff in the evening, it's overcooked because it's been smoking all day and it's
True.
been overcooked.
Yeah.
Let's see. We did not try the bacon brisket smash burger, the Ragin' raspberry ravioli. Some of these things, like, they sound good on paper, but then like the candied bacon gnocchi or whatever, it wasn't made into it. It was just like drizzled on top of it. I was like, all right, that's not really like infused.
I'm glad we scoped it out first. A couple of the things, we'd wait by the line and watch other people and look online and see what they're saying. We're like, okay, not wasting the money.
Yeah. As far as drinks, the new drinks, we've had this caramel apple beer before. Is the one I did my chug with, if you saw the video. But that was really fucking good because that's from Barntown Brewing, and they also put like a caramel rim around it.
Oh yeah,
that was like real good.
That was really nice.
Yeah,
gave us that sugar rush.
The mini donut dunkel beer, that was delicious. It was made with the mini State Fair donuts. I did that for my chug 3 weeks ago, I guess.
Yeah, and they'd put like a little cinnamon sugar.
Oh yeah,
on
they
top.
had a cinnamon sugar topper.
Oh, that was
really, so good.
That was really good.
They had a beer called the Pig Lebowski.
Yeah.
God, I can't remember what was in it. It was like supposed to be like bacon and maple or something. It I don't know. I just didn't like it.
It was weird.
It had like kind of an off-putting taste. I think it was I can't remember what style it was. It was like a brown ale or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Didn't try the rainbow sherbet sour. Did you try that one?
I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
I don't
you
think
don't,
so.
Panama Red.
I don't think I
The
did.
Fudge Fair beer, or Fair Fudge beer.
That one was so fudgy.
Yeah, that was good. It was a stout or a porter, I believe.
It was almost like when you try like the cacao chocolate that's not sweetened, not like the semi-sweet chocolate, that kind of dry chocolate. That was the aftertaste. I felt like I just ate a bunch of fudge. I was like, how'd they do that?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that was good. The Dutch Letter Ale.
That was my other favorite.
Yeah, that was good. It wasn't super sweet or anything like that, so I think it had a good like hint of a Dutch Letter.
Yeah, it was perfect. It wasn't, even those aren't too sweet. It was like a nice little dusting of sweet.
We also had, obviously, we had this last year, but the cotton candy beer.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Very sweet.
A little sweet. Yeah, you could drink one. What else? Cheeto float. We didn't get that. Dr. Pickle. I wish we would have got that. We didn't have time. It was Dr. Pepper with a pickle in it.
Yeah.
And he pecked a pickle peppers.
Pickle peppers. I wish we would have got that one.
Yeah, and those were the new things. The things that we get year after year was the Mexican street corn.
Ooh,
the puppy chow waffle. That was new.
That was really
It was
good.
a waffle with puppy chow on it. Some people call it mud buddies if you don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And then there was, I think, some whipped cream and chocolate and stuff on it. That was good.
It was really good.
The dill pickled cheese curds.
Yes.
Those were good.
Love them.
Picnic in a cup.
My favorite. Give that one the blue ribbon every time. I love that one.
Yeah, if you don't remember us talking about this last year, it's at the Iowa Pork Producers tent,
Yes.
and it's a cup, and the bottom level or whatever layer is Fritos.
Fritos.
Yeah, Fritos corn chips,
Yep.
and then it's pulled pork, baked beans, mashed potatoes, coleslaw, and then a piece of candied bacon or candied pork belly on top of it,
Barbecue sauce.
and then some barbecue sauce.
So
good.
good.
Yeah.
I love it. And that's really not something you would think I would order
No.
either, but I love all those things. So it was great.
Yeah, it was delicious. What else did we get? The giant glazed donut.
Oh,
That was real good. It's like a donut like this big, but
it was like one of those fluffy.
and it's like dripping with glaze
oh, so good.
deliciousness.
Delicious. It was so like airy and light and fluffy. It wasn't like a cakey donut, and it wasn't like some of those other donuts you eat and you're like, I just feel gross now. It was delicious.
Yeah. And we got a wonton flight.
Oh yeah.
And so it was wontons, and I got to look up what was in it. So we got the flight of them. So it was a bunch of different wontons with different filling.
Oh yeah.
And they had bacon, brisket mac and cheese, raspberry, double bacon parm, and Southwest chicken.
Yes.
And those were good. They weren't as big as I would have liked them to be.
Right. Because
But
you kind of want to share with people, so they were normal kind of crab
wontons,
rangoon style.
it's hard you can't really share those. Like you bite off a corner and then the shit falls out of the middle.
We shared. We made it. We made it work.
Made it work.
Yes.
The Iowa honey lemonade popsicle.
Oh yeah. Who knew?
That was good. It was nice and refreshing.
Very refreshing.
And by the way, so normally in Iowa in August, it's blazing hot. I mean,
hot.
like 90, 100, 105 degrees, just sweating with humidity.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Usually you're just finding relief anywhere you can.
Yeah. This year we flew in and it was 93 the day we flew in without the heat index.
Yeah.
And then the next day from then on out, it was like 70, 75 maybe.
Woo,
It,
thank you.
it was amazing, but like we wanted to go to the pool and do these different water activities, and it just wasn't cold. It just wasn't super warm to do these things.
Yeah. I loved it because we came from Mexico where it felt like 105 every day. And we're just like, please, I need a little relief. And then Iowa delivered. I was happy because I wasn't sweating on my cheeseburger or corn dog or anything.
Yeah.
I could just eat it and go, wow, this is great.
Yes. So yeah, that was nice. And the lemonade popsicle, honey lemonade popsicle, definitely hit the spot.
And that was new, right? Those were new.
Yeah,
this year?
I'd not seen those before, so
Yeah.
it was nice and refreshing.
Still waiting for my honey ice cream.
I don't know. It's been years.
Been years.
But and then the other things we got, obviously the corn dog,
Yep.
cotton candy, and a gyro.
I had multiple euros, and they
Yes.
were just right on point again this year. We've been to how many Greek fests and how many Greek restaurants, and family has made euros for us. That euro hits every time.
Yes.
It's so good.
So good. Yeah, so that's about it, I think,
Yeah.
of the fair food. So we had a bunch of other really good food just in Iowa in general,
We did.
but I think those are the majority of the fair foods that we ate.
Oh yeah, we got a big chunk done.
Yeah.
we had a bunch. I feel it. I
Yeah.
still feel it.
And see, if I didn't make my little charts,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have got half of that done.
True.
That's why I make these maps and stuff for our trips, because we're efficient.
Yes.
We get as much done as possible, so we don't have to go back to these fucking places.
No relaxing for
Yeah.
anyone.
None at all.
Get it done.
But we have so many more stories from the fair, my cousin's wedding, my grandma's birthday, something crazy happened while we were boating that we'd never experienced before.
Yes.
So please listen next week.
Yep.
And you will hear all about that.
More fun stories.
More fun stories.
We don't even try to make fun stories. They just happen.
It just happens to us.
It always
But I
happens.
do notice more stuff happens. Even the 2 weeks we were there, more stuff happened to us the day we've been back from Mexico than the whole 2 weeks in Iowa.
Correct. That's Mexico.
Yeah, exactly. So don't forget to support the podcast. buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on Hiatus. Also go to Hansons on Hiatus for the merch store and get your merch.
Yes.
T-shirts, hats. Oh, I got my hat on. I'm not going to
you
take
can't.
off my headphones. But yeah, I'm wearing a Hansons on Hiatus hat.
Yes.
And also, you can be a monthly supporter of the podcast now on Spotify, so you can donate 99 cents, $4.99, $9.99 a month, or whatever. So if you just want to throw us $5 every month and not have to worry about it. You can sign up there and it'll just do it automatically. You don't have to deal with it.
Sounds easy to me.
Yep. And the great thing is it does not lock you out like some other podcasts do.
Yes.
So.
Still come and listen to us.
Yes, exactly. So don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, share, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Instagram, YouTube Music.
Yes.
All the things.
All the things.
But HansonsOnHiatus.com has all the links that you need for everything. So
one-stop shop.
yes. So I hope you guys have a great and safe rest of your weekend. Happy Friday, fuckers.
Happy Friday, fuckies.
That's it. Thanks for listening. Goodbye for now. Bye.